I had a field trip. Not today.
Your kids didn't go play bocce ball?
Yeah, no, but I did have a field trip yesterday. I went to
Oh,
the Tulsa PAC.
for what?
Um, playing recorders.
Oh, no, that sounds
Yeah,
awful.
I had to take some Tylenol, extra strength when I got back.
Yeah.
I don't know how many hundreds of elementary kids were there playing along with like the Tulsa either symphony, whatever,
Yeah, symphony.
or orchestra or whatever, and then they had like a jazz ensemble up there playing trombone and trumpet, and I was like, golly, and they're like, play along. So you got these kids all playing hot cross buns on recorders. Well, most of them are just like blowing it into as hard as they can. Right?
yeah.
I was like,
In each other's ears.
Yeah. Like, this is just out of control.
Oh, that's so great.
It was something. Well, then the bus ride.
Oh, you should have put them all in a bag.
Oh,
Give
my
me the
God.
recorders.
So we took
I couldn't
six
take
buses.
it.
We took 6 buses from our school.
I couldn't take it.
And I usually don't have to like do a whole lot on the buses because, you know, I'm just there with certain kids.
Yeah, you're hanging out.
I'm like, I'll get on third grade. They're pretty nice. So I get on there and they have a sub, like substitute teacher for
It's
one
never
of theirs.
good.
And he's like, let's sing Wheels on the Bus. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's not.
What is wrong with you, man?
Shh, quiet.
The wheels on the
But
bus.
we had one bus driver on the way back. Whoo, she laid the law down. She was fantastic.
Yeah.
She threatened to pull that bus over. I'm like, man, this.
As
do
you're
it.
driving?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that.
She gets on her little
Speaker?
speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. You in the back. You in the red shirt. I'm like, nice.
This is great.
Get him.
Get them. Yeah, it sounds miserable.
It wasn't.
Sounds miserable. I think one of my kiddos and Bethany went on a field trip today to play bocce ball.
Bocce ball.
Well, yeah, I call it bocce, but
Bocce. Whatever.
bocce ball.
That was the Special Olympics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia helps with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she has like a pretty big heart for it. I think they're going to play basketball
I love Special Olympics.
in a couple of days.
I've done that a few times. I haven't done it recently, but
Yeah.
I love Special Olympics.
Yeah, she definitely has a heart for those kiddos, and that's cool.
Yep. You always get, Special Olympics is awesome.
Yeah. I used to work with a guy that helped with the big one in Stillwater,
I like the, yeah. They go over,
Like
Owasso takes some.
like a big event there.
Yeah, they stay overnight.
Yeah, he's like a big coordinator for it. He went to
Mhm.
school at Oklahoma State, and he helps. Yeah, it's a big deal for him.
Yeah,
big deal.
it's really cool. It's a, yeah.
All right. Well, springtime
Springtime in the Midwest.
is in the. Are we Midwest?
Springtime in Oklahoma.
What is Oklahoma? Are we Midwest or are we like South?
I consider it Midwest, but I think a lot of people call it South.
I was just wondering, what's the cutoff? Like Missouri,
I think the
Kansas?
Kansas, Oklahoma
Border?
line. Mm-hmm.
That's when it becomes Midwest. Are we prairies?
Well, I base it on my Little League experience. So when I was in Little League, we were in the Midwest region,
Yeah.
but Oklahoma was with us then. But now they have Oklahoma in the South.
With Texas,
Yeah, so good luck, Oklahoma.
Arkansas,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Louisiana.
yeah, that's not gonna go well for them.
Nope.
There's too many people down there.
Too many people in Texas.
Well, big population areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering too. I saw a map one time that said Midwest, but it literally was barely west. It was like Indiana and Missouri.
Well, anything past the Mississippi, they consider West.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Remember,
Gotcha.
the Arch is a gateway to the
That's
West,
true. That's true. Okay.
which I consider West Colorado.
Yeah, me too.
But they anything past.
yeah, I
Yeah,
consider.
yeah.
I don't even like when they say Southwest. I don't even
Yeah.
think of Texas.
We're in
I
the
think
Central Time Zone.
yeah. When
There
I
you
see
go.
when I hear Southwest, I think New Mexico and on
Yeah, Old Mexico.
Arizona,
Took it from.
Arizona,
Yeah.
Nevada,
Yeah.
as the people say.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Desert.
really, I say
I think
Nevada.
of desert. When I
Yeah,
hear
cacti.
Southwest. Yeah.
Anyway, it's springtime here in Oklahoma, which means
Mm-hmm.
big weather.
Travis Myers getting excited.
Yeah. It's over exaggeration most of the time, and then every once in a while, bam,
You get that? Yeah.
tornado. Which is kind of funny. 'Cause I think we've already had some.
Here?
Yeah, it was like what 2 weeks ago, like on a Saturday night. Remember that?
Nope.
Yeah,
No.
I think we had not here, like Owasso,
Oh.
Tulsa, but like very south of Tulsa, like right. They had some like erupt.
Did they?
I don't think that's the right way to say it.
I don't think that's right either. So I don't
Um,
worry. I grew up in Kansas, so we had tornadoes, every other weekend.
Yeah, I mean Texas
So,
too. Not a big
You
deal.
know, it's not that.
I do have one on my list though. That was
so do I.
Was a
A big twister.
Yeah, that I'm gonna say that I didn't experience
Mm-hmm.
firsthand,
Okay,
but it was that big a deal
gotcha.
in that area of the world.
Okay.
I would think in your area too. So, all right, awesome. So
It's
so if you haven't
It's the
guessed,
same as my. What year is that? Is that 2011?
13.
Okay, that's not me.
Well, I might have got the year wrong. I couldn't remember. I should have looked it up.
I can't read that. Oh no, that's not me. I
Okay.
didn't do that one.
This
That
is
was
the part.
huge, though.
This is the part. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you why it was a big deal. But okay. So if you haven't guessed, we're gonna do our top 3 most memorable weather events from our lifetime. And yeah. Actually, as I started thinking about it, we had this event last. Is it gonna be in your list?
What?
All that wind.
No. That's
Yeah,
not that's
mine
not
either, but I did-
Wind doesn't cut. Wind
Well,
doesn't
it was weird because it was like 60 miles an hour all day long.
Yeah, but straight line winds didn't.
No,
make
but
the
it was
list.
all day long.
Yeah, we lost our playset. Didn't.
Oh,
lose
yeah,
it,
it
but
gone.
It
It gone.
kind of rolled over and bent, and it's still laying down. I haven't. It's been
She set it on fire.
10 days. No, it's metal.
Oh,
So my
dang.
neighbor texts me. He's like, "You want that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want it. You want to come up and put it back up?" He's like, "Yeah." Well, it was just
Why
still laying
was
there.
did he?
He's a welder, so he'll probably put it back together for his kids. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
he's
so
a
you're gonna
great
give
guy.
it to him?
No.
Oh yeah.
I think that might have been what he wanted. Maybe he wanted just to put it up or help me put it up. He's a nice guy, so I don't know.
Maybe he wants to fortify it for you.
I asked him to put some braces on there.
Yeah, put little braces.
It was anchored into the ground too. Like,
yeah, that's
it
probably
was
why.
anchored
It's
and
probably
it-
why it fell
Yeah.
over, right?
So I mean,
It was unbelievable.
It was
but anyway,
it was pretty bad.
well, the deal was it was all day. Like it was crazy.
constant. Didn't never.
It was like
give it up.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It was just
It was
blowing.
bad. It was like this haze and
Yeah, it was fun. So that's not on my list either. So, but anyway, weather time, springtime is always weather time. Actually, probably all the way through the middle of the summer, but
even winter.
winter can be, which I have one of those on my list. So
Me too.
kind of crazy. All right, let's rock and roll. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
We're pretty close on this, so
You think?
I'll let you go. I'm just kind of
I
reading.
got
your
one
notes
from
here.
my hometown. So
So do I.
They
Like where you
can't-
grew up.
yeah, that's
too.
my, and I'm doing this in.
It's my third too. Go ahead.
I'm doing it in like kind of sequential. Wait, what do you call that? Chronological order
Yeah.
from oldest to most recent.
All right,
And-
I'll do that too.
All right.
All right.
So I would say like most effective, whatever. But number 3 for me was in 1990. I think. I'm pretty sure I was like in 5th grade.
Wow, you're old.
I can't. Yeah, I am old. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm pretty sure I was like in 5th grade, but I'm really struggling to remember. So when my mom listens to this, I apologize because she gets on me because I never
Yeah.
remember anything.
Right.
But we had a flood in my hometown,
Yo.
and there's the year I was born, they had a flood in my hometown
Okay.
in 1980.
So 10-year flood.
So the 10-year flood happened, and so we have a zoo in my hometown, small
Oh.
zoo.
Like, what's the largest animal in the zoo?
Oh, they have like legit like giraffes, elephants. It's actually a
It's a pretty cool zoo.
It's a
then.
pretty cool, nice small
Yeah, yeah.
zoo, but it was like a Barnum and Bailey type thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Frank Buck was the guy's name, and he's kind of a famous. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it's called the Frank Buck Zoo. I guess he maybe was from Gainesville. I probably should know this. I don't know.
You probably should.
Anyway, apologize, Gainesville. Thank you for your sponsorship and a little
Yeah.
shout out.
They're not going to sponsor.
So it's
us
in
now.
our park, and to get to the park, you drive on the road, and then
Uh-huh.
the park drops down.
Of course.
And then there's the zoo, and it's also next to, which I'm so bad. Geographically can't remember the creek it's next to, but it's next to a creek.
Yeah.
Elm Creek, Wheeler Creek. It's one of those creeks,
A crick. Mm-hmm.
a creek. And usually pretty dry, but in this
Usually.
instance, it was not. So
Mhm.
North Texas got a ton of rain and flooded. This is 1980, and there's the elephant survived by putting his trunk
No way.
up in a tree. Yeah, there's
Oh
pictures
my
of it.
God.
And so when I was a kid, I had a T-shirt that was like,
That's awesome.
his name was Jerry, the elephant, Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah, and there's a picture of Jerry, like cartoon Jerry, on a tree saving himself in the flood.
That's awesome.
And so like there's this like, it's like a theme of Gainesville.
Yeah.
And Jerry in 1990 was no longer there. I think he was dead. I think they moved him to like Fort Worth Zoo or something.
Above sea level.
He made the big times.
Yeah.
He went to the
he
big
came to
zoos.
Tulsa.
Yeah, he came to the Tulsa Zoo. So in 1990, we had another flood like that, and
Yeah.
that park, I'll never forget. So of course I don't remember 1980 because I was a little guy.
Little.
But I remember that park was underwater.
Yeah.
And it has these huge trees, pecan trees. It's a real pretty park. And they were like, I mean, they almost to the tops of those
Yeah.
trees. And it was just crazy. Like, you could go swim there if you wanted to. That's all I kept thinking about.
You don't swim
It's
in
like you
flood
could go
water, but
swim.
ahead.
Yeah, snakes and currents and stuff. I get it. Yeah, it's gross. But that's all I remember thinking about. And it was like kind of monumental because it rained and 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 rained. And, you know, it's baseball season when you're 10 years old. You're kind of like, this is annoying.
Right.
But then, yeah, a lot of people, man, were
Right.
houses and, like, you know, people that live in those areas were in trouble. Even businesses, it got really high, like unexpectedly high.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll never forget that.
That's a good one, and that's mine. First one's a flood too. So
Oh.
mine's 1993.
Oh, close.
I was 10 years old.
Oh, dang.
Um,
Got me.
So I grew up in Baxter Springs, Kansas, and there's a spring river that runs through the town.
Is it called Baxter?
It is Baxter Springs.
That makes sense.
Anyways, it floods there every once in a while. It's down by the river and stuff. It's like, but the thing that really sticks out the most is the first time that I remember. I mean, people lost their houses and things like that, which is terrible.
Terrible.
But their football field is in track is built by a creek,
Yep, makes sense.
and it's flooded so many times now over the years that they can't. I don't know if they can get insurance money to like repair the track or whatever.
Sure.
But the water always gets up like you measure it like how high it gets on the goalpost, right? The flood.
They have like markings.
So it's a really cool but it's a really cool. The football field's really cool. So it's kind of I don't know, like a little valley or whatever, and then the stadium's like built into the side.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
cool.
really loud, and there's like a wooded area and stuff on one side,
That is neat.
but it floods all the time.
That's not cool.
And like how got up to the top of the bleachers. I mean,
Man,
it
almost got
yeah.
to the crossbar.
Yeah. Oh, it got to the crossbar before.
Oh,
It
okay.
get deep.
That's like as high as a 20-yarder.
Yeah. So I just remember that the flood, and you always, you know, every time it flood, we're like, oh, it's gonna get the field. It's gonna get the field.
You know what I like is the idea that the water stayed up there long enough to where the goalpost like fades enough for you. Like,
I'm
oh,
sure it did.
Look at the last time.
Well, the scoreboard was down that level too, and it would get wet all the time. We called Old Faithful because it always would work.
Oh, that's interesting.
But eventually they put one up like on top of the
Yeah.
hill or whatever on the other side.
That is good.
But
I like that.
I was like, golly, can't you see the scoreboard?
Makes an impact though. I like
Right.
that.
That's 2 floods. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, just the idea there's just water everywhere,
Everywhere.
and I still remember thinking I'd like to swim in all of it.
That's dirty water, man.
Yeah, but at 10 years old, who cares?
Well,
Now I think it's snakes.
that's not, I think snakes is at least your worries
Nope.
in floodwater.
Nope, it's most of my worries.
Mm-mm.
Almost always.
You got all kinds of disease waiting to happen.
All right, number 2. I am older at this point.
Mm-hmm.
2013.
Way older.
I'm
Mhm.
way older. What does that put me at? Like 33 roughly?
Yeah.
Almost 33. Probably 32. But the Moore Oklahoma tornado, the F5.
Yep.
Do you remember this?
I do. I was in Oklahoma at the time.
You were in Oklahoma at the time?
Yeah, I moved here in 2010.
So you're here in Tulsa area?
Mhm.
Yeah, so like to me, that kind of like, it was huge, man.
Yeah.
Like changed almost everything. It just
Yep.
everybody talked about it. It's like
National news.
national news. The thing was a mass. Also, it was like middle of the day, so like it was very easy to see.
Yeah, and it hit like a school, and it hit. I mean,
School
it
took
right
out
down,
like neighborhoods. Just
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Know a kid that was like, I don't know. He ended up working for me, but he was only like 11 when it happened.
right.
But he said he remembers they came out of their storm shelter and all they had was like a couple of studs and a toilet left.
Jeez.
And so the only reason I say that is because I was one to not pay attention to weather too much,
Mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason, this shifted me a bit. And
Were
so,
you in Texas at that time?
Yep,
still?
yep,
Okay.
still in Texas.
So you weren't even. How far away are you from Moore?
from
Hour.
Moore, about an hour and
Oh, that's it.
an hour
okay,
and
so it's
20
pretty close to you.
minutes. Yeah, something
I
like
didn't
that.
realize it was that close to where you grew up.
Well, wait, how far is Moore? Is basically OKC? Maybe
think
2
so,
hours.
yeah.
maybe 2 hours at the
Okay.
most. Yeah. So I just remember it being a big deal.
was.
And I still don't think like weather. I don't get too worked up about it. I just
Mhm.
remember thinking, and we had kids at the time, and
Yeah.
let's see, to have all my kids. Yeah, I think all my kids. Oh, almost that summer we would have live. So,
Mhm.
but I remember thinking like I just paid a little more attention when the
Yeah.
weather guy would talk about it because
Yeah.
well, what if it is an F5?
Well, that's
Of course, I didn't have a storm shelter, so
F5s are pretty rare.
no, it's totally rare. But that was like Twister stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a tornado on mine too, and I'm not gonna do mine in year order now. But I'll just do it by tornado, and we're kind of talking about the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I've been surrounded by a lot of tornadoes growing up and close calls, whatever. And 2011, the tornado hit Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah, that was a big one.
So I grew up about 10, 15 minutes from where this tornado hit. Wasn't living there at the time. My parents live a little bit further north and east now, but so we were visiting my parents in Kansas that weekend, and we always go down Interstate 44 to come home, right? So that's the track you take.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
So you go right through Joplin, then you cut up Kansas to go to my parents' house. So my mom was like, paying attention to the weather. She's like, well, you can't go that way this time. There's a huge storm heading that way. I'm like, okay, Mom.
Whatever you say, Mom.
So we get on the radar. I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to find another way to come home. So we actually
Went through
ended up
Colorado?
going. Yeah. We ended up going down a different route, like through Coffeyville and stuff, that's the same route we go now. But we would have been right in the tornado if we'd have went that way.
Yeah, that was a big one.
And I think it was F5 too.
Yeah, it was
and
huge.
There's a Netflix special on that one. We watched.
Oh.
Kayla and I watched a couple weeks ago.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, I mean it's Netflix, so it's got some political stuff in there, but
Oh,
I mean
yeah?
that was devastating. I think
Did they say the tornado was
160
racist?
They said no, but they had some people on there.
Did they say it was gender neutral?
They said a lot of things.
Sorry,
but it was
Give me the
scary.
edit. I'll edit that out.
No, it's fine. It's scary, and since we've been married, Kayla and I, in 2010. After that, we got a storm shelter. So this guy in Collinsville invented a storm shelter. It's out of an old propane tank. Have you seen our storm shelter?
Is it outside?
It's in the garage.
No.
So it fits like all four of us will fit in there. But it's an old propane tank, and then he put like a little padding floor in there, and he has like everything you need is in there. It even comes with like Werther's Originals candy.
Oh, it comes with it?
Yeah.
That's
Like
great.
a whistle, GPS track, all this stuff, and they basically just put it in your floor of
Anchor
your
it down.
garage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Wait, is it in the floor?
No, it's on top. It's above the floor.
Above the
It's
floor.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get in, shut the door?
Yeah. We've actually used it once or twice.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kayla and the kids get in it. I'm never in there until I see the the roof going. Then
I gotta see. Yeah, we have the in the ground in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
It'll hold all of us, 6 of us and the dogs.
Yeah.
But it's not fun,
No.
so I don't like getting in there. But
No.
it's nice to change my oil.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think of
even
that?
though I don't do that anymore. But yeah,
No.
yeah,
Well, it's not that. Yeah.
yeah,
So floods, tornadoes.
yeah. Good
What's
stuff.
your top one?
All right, top one. I thought it was the weirdest experience of my life.
Okay.
Mainly because I am from North Texas and this just doesn't happen very often.
We're going to talk about the 93 ice storm that causes the Cowboys the game against the Dolphins.
No, that kind of stuff does happen where it like sleets for a day and goes away. We lived here 2021, so we've been here almost 3 years,
Yeah.
and it was the ice storm of 2021. So there's a couple of things I throw in there too, like COVID was in full bore. It's like working from home all the time.
Uh-huh.
All the stuff. And then this is the thing I remembered. I didn't do the math, but it said this area was below freezing
I remember this.
for 278 hours.
That's a long time.
It's over
for us.
10 days.
Yeah. I remember this just because where we live is pretty rocky, a lot of limestone rock, and a lot of our people's neighbors with the water meters were freezing.
Dang.
So I went out there, and it was cold. Like, I never wear a coat, but
No, it's
I
cold,
I
man.
dug up my coat, plural, and went out there, and I like put straw down there, and then wrapped it with a towel, and then put on rugs and stuff on top of it. Ours didn't freeze, but
That a boy?
it's still there now. So I probably should be taking that out, 4 years later. But
I say light a fire and burn it. I think it's my answer to everything today.
probably snakes in there now.
Oh, okay. Why do you got to do that?
Ooh. Yeah, but I remember that. That was miserable.
It was just crazy. I've never in my life, that's something you hear like it sounds like North Dakota stuff or something. Even though I know that, apologize, North Dakota. I know you get like below like 0, but
Yeah, but we're not. They're used to it up there.
dude, it got. I mean, I remember days single digit, and then
Cold.
for the day in the 20s, and there was just snow and ice everywhere forever. And
They don't really. They can't. We don't have the equipment to clean it off when it's that cold.
we thought about eating our dogs. We didn't know if we are gonna have to or not.
Oh, come on now.
Okay, you're right.
You didn't
We
go
had-
before.
we
the store?
ransacked the stores.
Get
Yeah.
your milk and eggs and bread.
Yeah. And we had fun in it. We played in it. But I just remember thinking how crazy that was.
It's cold.
I will be honest too. After day 2, I was done. I did not like it after
Yeah.
that. So that's mine.
That's
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
My top one is also a blizzard. So 2003,
A blizzard.
blizzard. I was a freshman in college, and I was home for the weekend, and then I had to get back to college because I don't remember, it wasn't Christmas break. It was sometime in January. I don't know why I came home. Anyways, had baseball and stuff. You had to get back, right? So it's about a 2.5 hour drive from my college to my parents' house. So everyone's like, "Oh, storm's coming." And I'm like, "Oh, whatever. Storm's not coming." Nothing. I don't see any snow, right? Nothing.
Yeah, you're invincible
But
because you're a young man.
I was in a 1999, pretty new car, Pontiac Sunfire. So it's like a
Ooh.
little
Yeah,
little
sporty.
sporty thing, front wheel drive.
Yeah.
Okay. By the time I got halfway, it was getting kind of dicey. Okay. When I got about 3/4 of the way, there was 20 inches of snow.
Holy moly!
I kid you not. 20 inches of snow on the ground.
Jeez.
I mean, it hit hard, and it I don't know how that little car made it. Right, a front wheel drive. I did get stuck once, in a little town called Peru, Kansas.
Oh yeah.
So I pulled out my Nokia brick cell phone. Of course, dialed 911. They're like, "Where are you at?" Blah blah. And I said Peru. But time then, another guy came to me, and he was able to push
you.
me, and
Yeah.
he had me going the wrong direction. So I'm like, "Oh my god!" So then I had to 3-point turn it, and
Yeah.
get
Did you
there.
call 911 back?
Should I have?
And
I mean, I don't know. They're probably out.
hey guys, don't worry about it.
There's people out and about. I mean,
I'm good.
I had to get somewhere. I was stuck in the middle of nowhere, Kansas.
Did you have a blanket?
Oh yeah, I had stuff.
Okay, that's
I
good.
mean, I had my clothes. My mom did my laundry, so I was going back. I had my warm clothes.
So we got stuck in a South Texas blizzard.
Oh, that's no blizzard.
I kid you not.
Inch and a half.
I don't know if it really accumulated much, but the snowfall was ridiculous trying to
Yeah.
drive in it.
Yeah.
From Big Bend, which is actually the
Mhm.
high desert, mountainous area of Texas, and
Mhm.
we left there because a storm was blowing in.
Yeah.
And driving in that stuff sucks, man.
You can't see.
No, it's like it looked like you're in Star Wars going warp speed.
Uh huh.
You know, the stars coming.
Yeah,
in.
I've done that too.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
luckily this was during the day when I was driving, but still can't
Yeah,
see.
it was dark. Yeah.
And
Only.
then
Yeah, it's no good.
with the heater on, you start getting hot, but you have to leave the heater on because then it's so cold.
You gotta have the.
Fog
You gotta have
up,
the.
defrost.
Yeah, that is
But-
true. You
Mhm.
can't turn it off. You're like sweating,
Mhm.
but your life depends on it.
It's true. So it's in
Yeah.
the winter. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt driving in a blizzard because gotta have the heater on.
No shirt.
Yeah, well,
Driving.
just a minute, sir.
Just a
Yeah.
minute, sir.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. I like it. Weather. Here it comes.
Here it
Get
comes.
ready.
Here it comes. So again, Adam asked me to close it out.
Again. What is
So I don't even know.
that? What is that?
After
man.
days of pondering how I'm gonna close this out, I came up with Mark 4:35 through 41, and this is when Jesus calms the storm. I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and then we can kind of talk about it real quick. That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up over, and the waves broke over the boat so that they were nearly swamped. Not sure what version I'm reading here.
Swamped.
Swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. I love it.
It's
Did
like
it-
the Louisiana version.
Yeah. It's no, it's NIV.
Okay, there you
The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to the disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." So Jesus is always the calm in any storm, right? God is always in control. Jesus is also able to defeat all of our fears. And Jesus used this time to assure the disciples of his ability to save them and trust in Jesus. Jesus has all the authority. And then that's about all I got on that.
Yeah.
The only other thing I came up with, weather-wise, is after Jesus died, they had the earthquake.
Yep.
Torn the veil and everything. But weather is mentioned all throughout the Bible.
Sure.
So God's in control of it.
The Egyptians got a whole bunch of weird
They got
weather.
a few.
Yeah, I think that's the important part, right? God's in control. That's the thing. Like, it's obviously so it can be scary.
Yeah.
I think I've never really gotten too worked up about it. Some of my family, not here, but back home do. I think it's just understanding he's in control. Like it's just gonna, What are you gonna do? No need to worry.
I like that where like he was asleep on a cushion.
Yeah,
and most of the versions said that. Like, of course, Jesus using a cushion.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? Smart
wouldn't
guy.
he?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why are you waking me?"
Yeah, well, you guys, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is a little storm. Yeah.
But I think that's cool. Like that was one of his first, I think, trips. He was in Galilee. I didn't read all
his
his
disciples. Yeah, it's good.
So,
good stuff.
There you go.
I like it, man. All right. Well, you good?
Yep. Stay weather aware, everybody.
Weather aware. It is that time of year.
It is.
Adios.
See ya.